What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 3 of the survival let's play on this forever world. We are currently on day 121, I believe, and like I said in the last episode, we're going to be working on the animal district, or the animal part of our farming district. Last episode we were able to pretty much complete the farming district. We collected all of the plants successfully, and we kind of have them out in little fields. So I have decided that I want to go ahead and fill in this area right here, kind of like to here. I don't want it to be completely flat. However, just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to make it completely flat at this point, and then I'm going to add on to it as I go on. But I'm going to end it about right here because that should be enough room. I think I'm going to make buildings for each separate animal just so there's enough room there, because I do worry having all the animals in one spot. And I do have some ideas for builds that I will kind of like sketch out, I guess, but I do want to go ahead and get this dirt in first, which we have a bit of dirt and I think we have more in the storage, but we will have to dig some dirt. So let's just get started, I guess. Okay, so I've kind of flattened out this area. As you can see, this is much more flat than it was before. I've also added this kind of rudimentary path here. I do think it's going to go that way somewhere, but I don't know if I'm going to keep this at this level or not, but we will see. I also added this area right here, which kind of is a step up from the farms. Like I said, I want to have different levels to this. I'm thinking we're going to start with the cow pen, which is going to be the largest build that we have out of all of these. And I think I'm going to build it right here. I think it will look nice if you're looking from this way. You're looking at all the farms directly into the cow pen. I think that would look really nice. I believe I already have like enough blocks to make kind of like the frame, which is what I want to do first before I do anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and do the frame and see how that comes out. I'm using a reference photo from Pinterest, and the build shape is like, it's not from Minecraft, it's just a build, like a picture of a medieval, or I guess like a drawing of a medieval um, barn type thing. So I'm hoping that I can actually put it into Minecraft and it actually still looks pretty decent. So this is the outline that I have. I kind of have alternating sized squares everywhere. This is kind of the biggest build that I've ever made. For the most part, I built a greenhouse on my other world, and that was pretty big. So that is definitely bigger than this, but this is one of the biggest builds that I have attempted to do in a really long time. So we're gonna see how this works out. A lot of times I can get like a rough shape of a build out, and then I have a really hard time filling it in. So let's hope that that doesn't happen. I tried to make the roofs as easy as possible to do, so I kept it just kind of blocky, so it's nothing too complicated. It's going to be super roomy. I also think in the original picture, this right here kind of like goes in, and this right here is supposed to be kind of like the area where the animals are supposed to come out, but I'm thinking I'm going to move that over to maybe like this side area, because this is just not enough room, and I didn't want to have this build like pushed all the way back. So I'm going to sit here for a bit and try to figure out how to work with this type of shape. And also, before I forget, it's got the roof on now, so it kind of looks like that. I did forget that there is a tradition that I do in all of my worlds where I put on my builds when they were built, if that makes sense. So I believe this build, sometimes I put it right on the front. I'll just do it right on the front. So established, I want to say that this was created in August of 2025. Aug 2025, day 30 is when this was created. And then we're gonna go do it for this house as well. I know that this was built on like day, like completed on like day 60. So let's just say day 60, established September 2025. There we go. So we have that. This over here, I'm going to say was created on day 100. So day 100, established December 2025. So I do that for all of my builds. I also add mailboxes and addresses to all of my builds as well, just to kind of make my world feel more alive, I guess. The streets don't really make sense, like logically, because there'll be a house that's on the same street, but it's a different street. You know what I mean? But it's just something fun I like to do. When we complete this build, we are gonna go ahead and put a sign on that one when it was finished as well. Okay, so it is the next day now, and I have completed the build, I think the best my ability. I'm sure that I could use a little bit more detailing in certain places, but I'm honestly, I think the size and like the fact that the different areas have like different, I guess, looks to them kind of goes to like serve that purpose in of itself. But I think this side's probably my favorite. I like this little slope we've got going on over here. I also went ahead and put in the sheep and the cows as well. And I'm just going to be breeding them up over time. Every time I build something, I think about how like my build style is stuck in like like 2017. And that's so funny because that's like when I started actually like building in Minecraft and like taking it very seriously, because I've been playing Minecraft for like more than half my life, I would say. And it wasn't until then that I actually started taking building in the game very seriously. It's funny that like my build style is kind of like stuck there. Um, but I mean, I don't mind it. I think as time goes on and as the series goes on, I don't know why I said series. As the series goes on and I build, different areas with different, styles of homes, like I think it'll be super cool to see what I can build and how I can grow. But we do need to do the interior. And I'm thinking what's going to end up happening is this is kind of just going to be like a general like area. So I'm thinking I'm going to make the floor like podzol or something, like a mixture of different blocks to make it look dirty because it is supposed to be a barn. And then I think upstairs I'm gonna bring like a staircase like in here, and upstairs I'm gonna build like an area for, I think, like a little residential area, because obviously we're going to have to employ somebody to deal with these cows and these sheep. But I think I'm also gonna try and fit a storage area somewhere, because I want all my buildings that like have actual purposes to have storage stuff for that purpose, if that makes sense. Yeah, I also tried to put like little haystacks and like little trampling pieces, but I didn't want all the animals to escape, because I put the sheep one like in that corner and they all like escaped. Been working a bit on the interior, and I think what I have, I'm gonna call it completely done for now. I've never been the type of person that's been really great at interiors per se, just because there's so many little things that go into making a good interior, and I've just never felt like I was able to do it correctly. Also, the inventory in this game is way too small for somebody trying to do a very detailed interior. I think I'm pretty happy with what I've got, and I think it's honestly probably one of the best interiors I've done in a while. Also, if you can hear my cat meowing, I apologize. They are literally greedy. I'm gonna go on a side rant about my cats really quickly. I'll try to put pictures of them up on the screen if I can figure out how to do that, but I don't think it should be that hard. But yeah, I have three cats. Um, One is a tuxedo cat named Millie. One is a gray cat named Biscuit, and the other one is a tabby named Jellybean. They are so relentless when they are hungry. It's ridiculous. Especially Millie, who is really cute, and she is just the sweetest angel ever. Except when she's hungry, and then she just becomes so annoying. Like, it is currently 7:05 a.m. Usually they eat around 7. It depends on the day, because my fiance and I, we have really weird schedules. Anyways, I woke up at around 3:45 this morning. Has been yelling at me to feed her since 3:45, and it's like, that's actually ridiculous. And people will always tell you, they'll just be like, well, just ignore them. If you ignore them, they'll stop doing it. And it's just like, I'm so happy that that philosophy worked for you. I've had Biscuit and Millie for over a year now, and Jellybean, I've had him for like 7, 8 months or something. We've been kind of trying to train Millie to not act like that at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, she thinks that whenever everybody gets up, it's time to eat, and that's just not. It's not it, because, like I said, my fiance and I, we work overnight, so sometimes we are up in the middle of the night, and she'll just start yelling because she thinks it's time to eat, and it's like, it's not time to eat. I finished the interior. I think I'm gonna call what I have done because I honestly I can't think anymore about interiors. Pretty proud of what I have. So here, when I think about this area, I think that this is supposed to be one residential for whoever, but also that there should be somebody who is working with the cows and somebody who's working with the sheep. So a shepherd and a butcher of some type. So I created this area as like a general storage space for these people when they come into work. They have places to put the processed meat or whatever. I also tried to use leaf litter as kind of like a texturing block on the floor to make it look a bit dirtier, and I think I really like it. I honestly, leaf litter is really annoying when you're in a biome that has it, but when you actually use it as a decorative block, it's pretty OP. I don't know. This is just supposed to be a table again for them to place all the products on, or like a break room, because in the Moosh village we do support workers' rights. I have a hay loft right here. I guess it's not really a loft because it's, I guess, hay storage. It's under the stairs. I needed something to cover up all this space, and I didn't know what to build. So we got these stairs, and this is supposed to be kind of like the workshop slash residential area because I do want at least one of the employees to live here, since like there's gonna be two, at least two. There's only one bed up here, so like only one person can stay here. I think also another funny thing that I added, um more storage, more hay, you get the gist, is I added this because this is a little workshop area. We have the smoker for the butcher. I put a furnace here as well just in case I'm ever up here and I need a furnace. I can use this furnace. Chopping, I'm not a chopping block, a cutting board for, again, processing meat or whatever. And also we have the looms right here because we do have the sheep that are in this building as well. I added this required usage when butchering because I wanted to add like PPE of some type because I feel like we also love sanitation. I wanted to add like some goofy like PPE. Yeah, required usage when butchering, and we will be enforcing it. Thank you. Then right here we have an actual hayloft. I had no idea what to do with this space, and I know a lot of barns, even though this isn't technically a barn per se, it's like a facility. Like they have hayloft, so I just again just placed hay everywhere because what's a barn without hay? Also, more indication of the leaf litter being used to make things look more rugged and dirty. And I love that you can put these on pretty much any surface. I have not found one that you cannot put it on yet, but I'm not sure if there is anything. Again, more storage. And then this is a little residential area. I'm super happy with this. I kind of use these trapdoors as like a divider between the workshop and the residential. But we have a little bit of storage. Again, leaf litter. We have a loom over here, and then we have a little brown bed because it kind of matches with the kind of brown yellow aesthetic. Crafting table, little painting, and some carpet. A lot of the stuff that I put over here is just like I wanted to fill this space, so this is what I did with it. I think now I'm gonna get started on the pig pen, which I started with this building because it's the biggest one out of all of them, so it was gonna take the most time. But the pig pen and also the chicken coop should not take that much time. And I don't know where I'm gonna build it yet. I'm gonna clear out these trees, but I'm thinking maybe somewhere over here. Because I actually, so I don't know. I am nearing the end of like my allotted recording time for at least this week. So I don't know how many updates there's going to be on the pigpen, especially because it's smaller. So I might just build that out and like have like time lapse clips or like replay clips of me building it so you guys can still see me build it, but it's, you know what I mean. I don't know, I need to get off of here. This clip is like 9 minutes long, and that is 9 minutes way too long because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, I will see you in the next update whenever that is. I also completely forgot about this. I literally just like a couple clips ago was talking about this. There's also a spider somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's down there. Seriously, bro? Okay, they're probably spawning over here. I think I have torches on me. I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't have torches on me. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna move this one then. I'm pretty sure they're spawning from right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I also forgot to say, I did complete the floor of this, and I've started kind of covering up the bone meal places. I want to put one here too, but I haven't done it yet. right now it is day 146, which means it took me about 20 days to build this and make the interior, which I think is pretty fast for me, to be honest. So I don't. So day 146. Oh, day 146, and then established. It is January 2020. Okay, 3036. Apparently, we're really far into the future. January 2026. So this is our first build of 2026, and I'm super excited to see the other builds that we get up to. Okay, so I have finished the pig pen, and this is honestly the first time I've ever built anything diagonal. So like it kind of just looks like a loaf of bread that somebody like carved a pig pen into. And the roof is not that great. With this series, I said that I was going to get better at building, not that I was going to immediately be good at it. So, this is my first diagonal build ever. So, I mean, I think it's pretty good for the fact that I've never built anything diagonal ever in this game before. I think I really do like the diagonal builds though, because this is pretty much just a straight wall. And so is this, but it still looks like pretty visually interesting without there being a lot of detail on that. Or a first try, not a first start. And we've got some little piggies in here. I usually never keep pigs in pens. I tried to make this kind of like a pigsty. I used the same floor as I did the other animal enclosures. This is supposed to be water, but I forgot to bring water over here. So that's why they're empty. I also try to put these here. So these could be like their slop buckets. Put some hay bales, because what's an animal enclosure without some random hay bales? That make no sense there. But yeah, I think I'm going to call that done with that, and we're going to get working on the chicken. Okay. Okay. That is slightly concerning, considering everything in my world is made out of wood. I'm thinking because we have the cows and the sheep on this side, the pigs on this side, we're going to build the chicken coop somewhere back here. The marketplace that I've been talking about, where we're going to bring villagers into the marketplace and they're going to sell the crops and like the products from the animals. We're going to put right here. Not really sure how yet, but we are going to do that. So I'm trying to not do a ton with the terrain, because I'm getting to the point where once I get like the basic stuff down, like I want to start actually building up the infrastructure of our city. And so I need to do some planning terrain wise and also build wise, and so I don't want to do anything too crazy with the terrain because it might be changed anyways. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get working on the chicken coop. So the chicken coop is now completed. It's really nothing crazy. I kind of just did. Okay, what is I just know there's 20 zombies under there. Well, let me actually go light that up, because that is so many zombies, and I just know that that's really loud in the video. My cat just jumped on my desk. I have no idea if you heard that, but if you did, yep, that's my 22-pound cat. Okay. No rub against the... Oh no! Oh my god! Oh my god! Hold on, my cat is like all over my mic. Okay, I hope that you cannot hear that. We are back. He loves to get up here and just roll up against the mic, and he loves to flip upside down on my desk, and it doesn't really work because he's huge. He is a 20... I think he's like 19 pounds now. He used to be a 21 pounds actually when we first got him, and he's like 19 or 18 now. So he's a hefty cat, and like we took him to the vet, and they were like, yes, he is a hefty cat, but at the same time, he's also just a big cat. Like he's just big boned. Because my cats have stopped being menaces to society now. I did have more grass here, but I had to fix it because the creeper blew it up. So this is kind of just like a pretty simple design. I added a watering bucket for the cats, not the cats, the chickens. Once I get them in here, I don't know, even know. I'm pretty sure chickens drink water, but they probably don't need all that. I also added composters again for their food, but I just put them right here. I'm going to sleep, and then we are going to go on an adventure to find some chickens. So I'm pretty sure... Is that a chicken right there? Is that just a flower? It's just a flower. There are animals over there, so I'm going to check up here first, but also that like kind of like grassy area right over there, right below that mountain is also like an area where I've been getting a lot of our animals from. But I want to start up here because this is much closer, and I don't like to use leads, so it's just a huge pain to get any animal anywhere. Okay, here's a chicken. Do you have like a friend somewhere? Do you have one like over here? Because that would be kind of ideal. I want to make sure I don't get in. Yeah, you do have a friend over here. Okay. A pink sheep? What? Bro. What? Okay, well, we have a pink sheep up here. That is cool. I am gonna come back and get him. Wow. That's like the second, maybe like the third time I've ever found a naturally occurring pink sheep in a survival Minecraft world. That's so cool. Wow. I remember I found one in my old world, and it's actually the profile picture to one of my Instagrams. But that's the second time that I found that, like, very recently. The other ones that I found were when I was super young, and honestly, to be fair, I don't even remember if that was completely legit, if I genuinely just dyed a sheep pink. I don't know. That's cool. This isn't too bad. Wow. Okay. I'm super hyped about that. I'm gonna get these chickens in the pen, and then we will go get that pink sheep. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Obviously, he has to have his own house. Like, come on now, we can't just put him in the sheep pen. But I don't know what to do with him, so we'll probably just put him in a pen for now and deal with that later. But that is so cool. Come on, everybody. Come on. So I bred them up. I got them in here. These are the start of our chicken coop, I guess. This is your home now. I know it's not looking too great from over here, but don't worry. We're gonna get this place looking spick and span. I also forgot to show you guys. There's nothing really in here. It's just this like little pathway. I think the chickens can walk up here and like walk past that, and they can go in there. So I put these little glass panes here so that we can see if they ever go in there. Um, I don't know if they will or not, but that is so cool. Now we have to go get that pink sheep. I turned the weather down because I know that rain happens to be super loud, and it's kind of super loud for me. So I know that it's usually louder like in the video. So I turned it down a bit, and hopefully you guys can't hear it anymore. But it's still there. How long has that sheep been there? Like genuinely. Because I have never been over here. Ever. There it is. Okay, let's take this back. Let's take this back to the base. Pink sheep. Exactly. I guess. Okay, I'm also gonna enclose them in this box because that is like my pride and joy right there. But another thing that I've noticed kind of playing this game, and with this pathway, we definitely need a mud farm, and so I want to make one. I've never made one before, and I think we have enough time in this video because I only have a few clips plus like the building time lapses. Hello, this is editing Moosh. I'm editing this like 2 months later, I think. I think I recorded this video in January or something. It's now March. So, you know, clearly I'm getting these videos out really quickly and stuff. I did probably one of the worst things that anybody could do when they're recording a video, and my mic was disconnected for like several clips, which is really a bummer because I actually did have a bunch of clips because I did like a bunch of stuff. Like not like a bunch of stuff, but like I started a new project. I finished the project that I was working on, and so this is the mud farm that I was talking about in the last couple clips that I made. It's actually pretty efficient. I really like it. I've used it quite a bit since then because, like I said, we use a lot of mud, so we need to have the farm there. Um, Also, like if I turn around, you can see like on the right, there's like this big dirt tower. I also started a terraforming project because I wanted more room on that top layer where my starter house is because I want to kind of do like a tiered village, if that makes sense. So there's like a lot of height variation, and I had been toying around with the idea of a retention wall or like a retaining wall or doing a terraforming project, and I felt like right in that area that I ended up filling it out. Like a terraforming project worked a little bit better. um, but later on, I do decide, I guess, to do more retaining walls because I don't use Lightmatica really, and it's really hard to do like an intricate and like interesting terraforming project without like a blueprint mod. So I I just don't want to use it, so I just do all my terraforming by hand. So it is what it is. And here I was just trying to show like my little to-do list that I had on this book, but I genuinely don't even know where this book is anymore. So it's not really that important. And I also wanted to say that I uploaded episode 1 maybe like a month and a half ago at this point, and episode 2 like 3 weeks ago. And I really appreciate the 11 subscribers and like all the people that are watching and people that are commenting on my videos. I really appreciate it. I love interacting with you guys. So ask more questions, ask questions about the world, about me, about my life. I literally, any question, just ask it because I like interacting with the people that watch my videos. And I honestly never thought that anybody would watch them anyways. So I think like my first video is at like 100 something views now, and I'm like, that's so crazy because like if I had to like present like a presentation in a room of 100 people, that would stress me out really bad because I'm a really socially awkward person. So it's a little nerve-wracking that so many people have watched my video. Episode 2 has significantly less, but like that's to be expected. And I really appreciate anybody who watched it anyways, anybody who like commented, like really appreciate it. So thank you for the support. And I also wanted to say I've been working on improving my audio quality because my mic, it's not a super like expensive mic, but it's also not a super cheap mic, so I haven't really messed with any of the settings or anything like that. So it's just kind of what it is. But there are some like points in my videos where I'm like not very like happy with the audio quality, if that makes sense. Or like my voice is like so much quieter than like the music that I add in, so I keep having to like adjust the sound of the music or adjust the sound of my voice. And so I don't know if it sounds like weird from a viewer's perspective because I don't watch my video all the way through again after I edit it. I just kind of trust that I edited it correctly. So I don't know. We'll see. But I think I do end up explaining everything once I come back. But yeah, so we're reaching the end of the clip. So thank you so much for watching, and let's get right back into the actual episode where my mic is actually connected. Okay, so I am so frustrated with OBS right now. I just figured out I've been recording literally for like hours, like 3 hours at this point. I built up this staircase and also these trees that are right here, and I just went back to review my footage and discovered that my mic disconnected from OBS for no reason at all in between clips. So everything I recorded literally just completely crapped out on me, and that's really frustrating because I actually had a lot of clips and I kind of went in a little bit more detail about my building process than I usually do, and I did not realize that my mic was not on. And so I looked over at my my other monitor and I saw that like the mic, I guess the audio option, was not on. So I'm so irritated. I'm gonna try in editing to do voiceovers, but it's just so frustrating because like, you know, you can't just like recreate what you were saying in a voiceover, so that's just super annoying. The last thing that we're gonna do before we end the episode is obviously add our sign to the build to show when we finished it. So it is Day 180. Okay, I don't want it to be all in caps. Day 180 established. Okay, let's January 2026. So yeah, there we go. We did all this by day 180. I think on the episode we started on day 121. So we played 60 days in this episode. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but yeah, next episode, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do more stuff based on progression, because I'm getting to a point where I want better tools, I want better armor, I want a system for, I want an XP grinder at some point so we can have that. And I also want the ability to have a better fuel source, because right now I'm running out of coal. I run out of coal in every single time I play this game. No matter how much coal I get, I always run out of it. So I'm not going to use it as my main fuel source anymore. I think I'm going to try to use blaze rods. So next episode, I think we're going to go into the nether and see how many of those issues we can solve by just going to the nether. I will edit the videos, and hopefully I'll be able to get the first episode of the series out, because I actually started recording this series back in August of 2025. It's currently January 2026. And although I was having issues with OBS for a lot of months, so that like kind of contributes to why it's been so long and why I haven't uploaded. But I've also just honestly been loving playing the game, and I hate having to take hours out of my week and out of my play time, which I already don't have a lot of, to look at a screen and hear my voice for a billion clips. But I will do it. I will do it because I want to get something out for you guys. Okay, because I essentially forgot to make sure that my microphone was connected to my OBS, and I lost a bunch of footage. I don't know if I'm going to be able to record over it or not. I genuinely have no idea. So I'm just gonna build the market, or at least try to plan out the market a little bit, to give this episode a bit of extra content, just in case like I can't do what I want to do with this. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna I genuinely think it's just gonna be this big patch of mud with little market stalls. I'm thinking that's gonna be the best way to do it, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clear out all of this. Um, Something that got cut from my other things was me talking about reading the Lord of the Rings series. I highly recommend reading it. It's so great. I've had it on my bookshelf for like a year. I bought it last year. I bought all 3 books combined into one, instead of buying them separately. And the world building is just crazy. It's so good. And I love all the little characters. I think that I've been reading them in a row. So the people that say that the series is really drawn out, because people do say that about it. I understand completely why they say that, because I'm reading it in a row, and it's damn, there's so many events that are happening all the time. I'm currently watching the movies right now with my fiance, and yeah, it's just so crazy how much stuff actually happens, how event dense the books are. But I'm currently reading The Return of the King. I'm about I think I'm 10% through, so I've got a bit to go before I actually finish the series. But what I have seen so far, I'm just enjoying it. I also bought is it the Silmarillion? Is that how you say it? I actually don't know. I bought that because I just kind of want to know more about the world, if that makes sense. Um, but never mind that. But I highly recommend if you read and you like fantasy, like you got to read the Lord of the Rings. Like it's just it's peak. It's very good, and I honestly usually don't like books like that, but it's probably one of my favorite fantasy series of all time, to be honest with you. It's that good. So read it. I am back. I've done a little bit of work, as you can see. We've got this barrier here. And I put this barrier here because something that I realized that I kind of like didn't do well in my last world is there wasn't a lot of depth in the builds that I did. I kind of just had builds everywhere and they were just kind of on their own. Um, and in this world, I want to be more, I guess, I want to pay more attention to that type of detail because when your world gets bigger and bigger, if you don't have things that are connecting it to everything else around it, it kind of just feels barren, I guess. So I built this little classic wall design here. I'm pretty sure I found this on like Pinterest like 3 years ago, 4 years ago at this point, and it's just a classic. It's a classic wall design with some walls and the slabs and also some lanterns. I'm gonna connected up, I think, but I'm not really sure about that yet. But that enters into the marketplace area, which I've decided to call Oakside Marketplace, considering we're using a lot of oak wood. We're in a very primitive era of the world, which is super cool. And this is going to be the marketplace area. I might expand it or I might make it smaller, not really sure. I've tried to texture as much as I possibly can, outlining this little path right here so people can actually get through. Um, I looked up market stalls on Pinterest to kind of get some ideas on how to build stalls so they don't look so blocky. And the things that people have come up with are just unreal. Like people are so creative in a way that I could never be on this world. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking that I'm gonna do a bit. I think I'm gonna do maybe like 3 or 4 stalls. I'm thinking that there's going to be a stall kind of like right here, and then there's going to be a stall that's right here, maybe 2 stalls right here. I want to try to get some other stuff in here too, because like I said, like I'm looking, like when I'm looking at my other monitor, I'm looking at like a fruit stand that looks really cool. And this, it's just, Pinterest is like the best thing ever for I guess like inspiration. Usually when I build like actual buildings, I use like real reference images of buildings so that I can see if I can actually accurately portray the building. But I'm looking at these market stalls and they are just gorgeous. Also, this view just looks awesome. Like this is just an awesome view right here. So I've just been kind of like adventuring around trying to find, I guess, different biomes. Like I was looking for the pale oak log and also the mangrove specifically. And then I also picked up some jungle and some dark oak because I didn't have any of those saplings. Something that I really enjoy about Voxy is it makes navigating the world so easy because I was all the way over there, but from all the way over here, I could see these peaks, and I know that these peaks are associated with my settlement. And like this looks really close, but it's actually really far, obviously, because I have my render distance on Voxy like forever, like a bunch of blocks. But like I can literally just go home. Like I can literally see where my settlement is gonna be. It's about like 8 or 9 hours later, and I've been working on the marketplace, as you can see. I'm liking how it's coming out, but I'm still thinking it's super incomplete. And I'm thinking that's because there's nothing over here. So I started outlining where maybe I wanted to have some um, like townhouse style buildings, but they're not going to be townhouses, I don't think. I'm thinking I'm going to be making them like merchant shops. Um, because that makes more sense for the market square. Um, but yeah, I decided to make these stalls. We got 1 stall here, 2, 3, and then 4 stalls. Um, as you can see, I've already went ahead. I grabbed some villagers from the Acacia village that is right over that way, and I haven't done anything with them yet because I wanted to make a villager breeder so we can have enough for all of this and for just a populated village anyways. But I did bring them over here. And I also try to make these little barrels where like this is supposed to be like blocks of beetroot. I know that like blocks of beetroot is just like kind of crazy, but it's supposed to be like the extra stock that kind of doesn't fit in the shop. But obviously the interiors of these shops are not completed yet. I also built this wagon, which I found on Pinterest. I will go ahead and put the name of the person who made this design on the screen, um, because I can't remember it off the top of my head. I also did this kind of thing where it's like, it's supposed to be like one of those things, like a clothing line, but these aren't supposed to be clothes, it's just supposed to be just stuff hanging. It's just supposed to make it look more visually interesting, I guess. Um, and also I added this little green tree here because I was thinking that it was missing something. And then also I put some more trees over here and also like some bushes and some flowers just to keep it again more visually interesting over here, because this is, I really like this side. I like how the mountain, it kind of like frames on the back, then we have the trees, we have views of the kind of the barnyard, I guess, and also the mountains. I think that's super cool. But over here definitely needs some work. We definitely need some tall buildings here so that when we look in here, all of this space is filled except this kind of upper area. We're gonna do day, it is day 205, established. No, it's not January, sorry. February 2026. There we go. So that is our first build of February. Um, but I think with that, we are going to go ahead and end the episode. So thank you so much for watching if you watched all the way till the end, and consider liking and subscribing to catch more of my videos. I'd really appreciate it. And for the people who have already been watching and subscribing and liking and commenting on my videos, thank you so much. I genuinely never expected anybody to watch these, to be honest. And it's been such a learning experience to learn kind of like how to commentate over what I'm doing, and then also editing. It's been super fun to learn how to do all of this, and I really appreciate any support, to be honest. And hopefully I'll be able to keep this up for a while, and hopefully a bunch of you guys who have started from the beginning, stay a while. So again, thank you so much, and I will see you in episode 4, I think it is.